Hi, my name is Carina and welcome to the Carina Chronicles. As I just reread The Hunger Games, I hadn't read it since I was very young. I thought it was time to watch the movie The Hunger Games again and see if it's still my favorite book to movie adaptation ever, because I always state that. So I'm watching the movie and I have all kinds of emotions. So, I've done this with some other TV shows and movies before, but The Hunger Games I found really scary, to be honest, because I always state that The Hunger Games is my favorite book to movie adaptation. I really like that movie and I used to really like that book. So I reread the book because it was a favorite of my friend and because it was a travel book, so I get that book and need to make annotations for it. And I gave it 5 stars. Like, I used to give it 4 stars, but I find it even better now. So now I found the book even more incredible. I was really nervous that the adaptation of it might not be as good as I thought it was when I was younger. So really nervous to watch this movie. I, of course, at the moment already did, but I'll show you the footage from when I was watching. I literally finished The Hunger Games, the book, this afternoon. And it is really hot. I did some things, I made a video, and I feel like I really need to chill now. I'm home alone for like 2.5 weeks and I'm doing a lot of socializing things, literally every evening. And tonight as well, I'm going to drink cocktails with friends on the terrace, so I'm really excited about it. But I never have an evening free. So usually I use this weather and just having free time during the day to read in the sun or to do something in the garden or to do something active. But I'm going to allow myself today to actually watch a movie because I never have an evening off, so I can never do it in the evening. And guess what movie it is? The Hunger Games. I don't know. I was just so excited about the book. I was like, yeah, I let you guess this, but this is probably a video about comparing the movie to the book. I have the book very clear in my mind now. I thought The Hunger Games to be my favorite book to movie adaptation ever. And I'm going to see if I still think that now that the book is very clear in my mind and I just read it. So I'm going to ignore that I'm watching a movie during the day. I ordered pizza, I'm having a very nice drink, and I'm just going to watch this movie. And if something strange happens, I will film my reaction, of course. What is happening with this movie adaptations? I mean, I had the same with Narnia. I watched it for like 2 minutes and I was crying already. But this is the same. I really don't remember this movie, but Katniss is singing to Prim the song with Rue. I mean, if you haven't watched or read The Hunger Games, this is going to be filled with spoilers. I'm sorry, but I can't not spoil. I have watched the movie several times and I've read the book now 2 times. I just want to talk about everything in there. But Katniss is singing the song to Prim that she's talking about when she's singing this song to Rue in the book. But in the book, she doesn't sing it now and it starts with it and I'm already crying. This is going to be great. I think this is going to be my favorite movie ever. I mean, I already liked it, but now I can see how good it is. Okay, it has been 2 minutes. Maybe I need to chill, but I really like it. So, there are quite some changes in the movie compared to the book. And I am not certain if I like all the changes, but I will go through the changes that I remember very well and tell you all about it. To start off, you have some Prim, her little sister. Oh, by the way, this is not going to be spoiler free. I cannot. But everyone read The Hunger Games or watched the movie at least once, right? So there are not going to be big spoilers, obviously. So, the relationship between Katniss and Prim is very different from in the book, in my opinion. In the movie, Prim is even more fragile. And I know it will change later on, but in the first movie she is so fragile and I don't know. While in the book she is not that big of a part in the first part of the book, because Katniss is like, she only has put her name in once in the ball. There's not going to be a problem. It's more about her and Gale and how she fears for Gale to be chosen. And they changed it into that she fears for Prim and then Prim gets chosen. And also the Mockingjay symbol is something between them. So they already start to really feed you with content of her and Prim being very, very, very close. And I think I like that more in the way that I think it helps with the rest of the books / movies to understand Katniss and why she's such an asshole sometimes, because she really lives for Prim. It really feels like that. And if you can see that in the very beginning already, you understand her better. While in the book, she is not. She's also very unlikable. And that doesn't really fit with how it's focused on Gale in the beginning, because she is sweet to Gale and then very mean to everyone else in the world. So, do you understand what I mean? I feel like the movie might have chosen a better point of view for this one. So yes, I really liked that change already. And something that was very big that was changed and what was very obvious, I think they needed to do this in the movie, is that they switched a lot between the arena and the people watching at home. And I feel like that is very good in the movie. I'm glad they didn't do it in the books, because I think you get distracted then. But in the movie it's a very good way to explain what actually is happening. Because in the book you have a lot of thoughts of Katniss, and that's of course hard to show in a movie, because why would we hear her thoughts? It would have been weird if she kept talking in herself and be like, oh, I wonder why they did this. Oh, wasn't this always like this? And that would have been weird. So I'm glad they chose that perspective. And to go a little bit out of what this video is about, I also watched the other movies again. And they didn't do it there anymore. And I think that's actually the choice because it was a new director. Because it's very different. So yeah, liked that in the first movie a lot. And yeah, I think that's good. So then we of course have the love triangle, which I'm usually not a fan of. And in this case, I'm also not really a fan. Something interesting though is that when I was a child, I was a very big Gale supporter. I was Team Gale all the way. And when I read and watched the movie now, I was Team Peeta. So that is interesting to me. In the movie, I found it very weird that Gale was even a topic, because they focused on Prim in the first part of the movie. So Gale was just a friend and he shouldn't be this jealous. He shouldn't act this way, and they shouldn't... Katniss shouldn't have to explain herself either to Peeta or to Gale. They are just trying to survive. And also, I feel like in the books, Katniss has a little bit stronger feelings towards Gale. She's already wondering, like, do I like him in a romantic way or something? But also towards Peeta, already during the training, she's hating him in some way, but she also really... Well, she has strong emotions towards him. And in the movie, I feel like that's a little bit... not so much. So I don't know. I think the first movie and the first book don't portray the love triangle very well. It's just weird that they're even bothering about love in this kind of way. I find it weird. So yeah. But it was adapted very well, I think. Something that I also thought was very similar between the book and the movie is the pace, because I was very worried that now I knew how the story was going, that the book would be boring in the beginning because it would take too long. But actually it's very fast paced. Both the book and the movie are very fast paced. And I think that's really nice. Like, it could have been an epic adult fantasy dystopian from 1,000 pages. I think it would have sufficed at that, and then you could put in more political intrigue and stuff, and it would get adult automatically. That's a little bit how I feel. Like, it's not per se a YA topic. They just made it YA by putting less detail in there and making it quicker and more focused on the love triangle and the games and sort of coming of age. And I liked it. I think it's a perfect choice. I personally wouldn't have done it, and I think that's why I wouldn't have made it a bestseller, because this is just perfect for it. But the movie and the book do it equally well. They never stick too long on a certain point, and it goes very quick. And for that time, I think the movie was in 2008 or something. I don't really remember, sorry. But for that time, it was very well done with the special effects and stuff, but also very long, 2.5 hours, which is pretty long for that time. So really like that there's no moment that I feel like, oh, I'm getting bored a little bit. And then one big difference still that I wanted to address, I was just talking about if it's YA or adult, and I think it's very YA, but I think the movie is a little bit more adult, and I think that is because you cannot hear Katniss' thoughts. Her thoughts are very immature and really of an adolescent person, a very young adult, not even an adult yet, 16 years old. And she is thinking all kinds of things that you're like, girl, you have bigger problems than this. And that makes it quite YA. And in the movie, you can't hear her thoughts. You only see what's happening. And that's actually quite gruesome. There are some big parts in the movie where she is quiet because she's in the Hunger Games and she needs to be quiet. And it's very intense. A lot of this movie is acted out without words. I really like how Jennifer Lawrence did this. I mean, I liked the movie when I was a child, but now I see what a great acting it is, because it's quite impressive how with so little words she knew how to express so many things. And the only thing that I'm worried about is that I might see it that clearly because I've just read the book, so I know what I'm supposed to see. But if you know what you're supposed to see, she does it perfectly. Like just a roll with her eyes or her mouth a little bit up or down when something happens without any words or any sounds. You really understand what she thinks. For example, when Pida decides to go with the people from District 1 and 2. When she hears his voice, that she's like suddenly hearing it, and so many expressions without really making sounds and stuff. I think it's really cool. And I think they are like, when I was talking about anxious people, for example, I love the book, I love the TV show. I feel like they have the same vibes. They are very good. I would recommend them to almost everyone, both of them. But it's fine if you only read the book or read the TV show. But I think this movie and book actually make each other stronger. If you've read the book and you see the movie, the acting in all the silence part is so much better because you know what she's supposed to feel if you believe the book. And she's exactly acting them out like this with just facial expressions. So you get more from the movie, but also when you watch the movie, you get to visualize what Suzanne Collins meant in the book with a lot of things. And a lot of great disasters happen, of course, in the Hunger Games. And it makes the book more epic. So I think this is one of the only combinations I know that I would recommend you to both read the book and watch the movie close to each other, because I think it really makes each other stronger. So the last thing that I really noticed is that the book made me addicted again immediately. I needed to watch the movie immediately. I literally watched it the same day that I finished the book. And then I watched Catching Fire the next day and both Mockingjay parts the day after. And I never watch movies or watch any television. Literally all these videos that I make are the only things I watch. If I watch something, I make a video out of it. So that's not that much. And I now watched 4 movies in 3 days. That's ridiculous. I also apparently couldn't bring up the patience to read the other books again. I just needed it all. So I think that proves that the movies are also really, really good. And I am not going to put any value on the other movies yet. I want to read the books and then watch the movies again. But I know that as a whole it's very addicting and very good, although it's 10 years later from when I read them first time. Well, more than 10 years, but really good. So, my overall conclusion is this is very good. Read the book, watch the movie. They're both incredible. The first part is a little bit more YA than the rest of the series, but even if you're not really into YA, I think you could really like this. So if you haven't done it yet, please read The Hunger Games and watch the movie. They're incredible. If you did already, don't let it stop you to do it again, because you see how much joy it's bringing me. And that was actually it for this video. I really hope you liked it. Please leave a like if you did, and comment down below which movie or book to movie adaptation you would like to see next. If you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! I really didn't expect myself to become so excited and addicted to these movies again. I literally was during my job waiting to get home to watch this next part. It's incredible.